More NFL. The Colts placed the transition tag on Daniel Jones yesterday, giving him a one-year, $37.8 million tender. This gives the Colts the opportunity to match any offer sheet Jones would potentially sign with another team. So the transition tag is rarely used, especially for a player. At one point, we were talking about an MVP for. Obviously, he got hurt, a serious injury. So the Colts tagging Daniel Jones. What does that say about the state of the quarterback market right now, Kmart?
Well, what it says for the Colts is that they're willing to take the calculated risk, that they won't be outbid by other teams. And it's interesting because had Danny Dimes finished that season healthy, who knows where the Colts could have gone. And it's unfortunate for him because he was balling. We were another guy, I'm sure, Louis Riddick, is he a franchise guy? Well, he proved to be pretty okay, right? Pretty okay.
Franchise, good quarterback. He's a good quarterback.
Right. But now the Colts have him right where they want him, essentially, where they're like, you know what, we'll take our chances. We think that we can sign you for less for this 1 year, and we'll see if anybody else ups the offer. But they feel like nobody will, and that's unfortunate because he really was putting up MVP numbers at the time of the injury.
Yeah, look, there aren't a lot of good options out there. The Colts know that. The Colts also know that who is going to take a chance on a quarterback who just ruptured his Achilles in December at this point in time, who, right or wrong, regardless of how he was playing up until this point, teams are still going to have questions on whether or not the Colts caught lightning in a bottle. Maybe he just really does fit what Shane Steichen likes to do in Indianapolis. They don't necessarily see that as being a transferable skill set maybe to their organization. The Colts are factoring in all of this. And they're saying, look, if they really thought that, hey, you know what, there's no way we can let Daniel Jones get away, regardless of what his injury status is, they would have put the franchise tag on him. But they're saying, hey, look, if you think you can get more, if you think you can get 47, 50 plus per year up there in that range, go ahead, and then we'll have to make a decision about what we're going to do. In the meantime, we're going to save some money on this transition tag, and we're going to let you go ahead and field other offers, see if other teams will come and get you. Doesn't mean we don't like you. It doesn't mean we don't like you at all because he was having a great season. But that's what it tells you about the quarterback market. It's just not strong right now. And they don't think, given his injury status right now, that he's going to garner a whole lot of interest. And quite honestly, if I didn't have a history with him, would I be that interested in him too? Regardless of how he had played the first half of the season, I would have a lot of questions. I don't even know when he's going to be available, let alone if he's going to do the same thing at my place that he did with Shane in Indy. That's the problem here. That's the message that they're sending him.
Stephen A.
Well, let's refrain from grabbing the balloons and holding a celebration for the Indianapolis Colts because you have to keep in mind that with Daniel Jones, since Andrew Luck's retirement following 2018, Daniel Jones was the Colts' sixth different Week 1.
Franchise tag deadline was yesterday, and we saw some notable players get the franchise tag. The New York Jets placed the franchise tag on running back Breece Hall, paying him over $14 million to stay with the team while they try to work out a long-term deal. Daniel Jones received the transition tag from the Indianapolis Colts, giving them the ability to match any offer Jones would get from other teams. If signed, Jones will make just under $38 million. And Super Bowl MVP Kenneth Walker III did not receive a franchise tag from the Seahawks and will hit free agency next week, as well as Bengals defensive end Trey Hendrickson, who played in just 7 games last season. All right, our NFL analyst Louis Riddick joins us right now. The Bengals opted to not tag Trey Hendrickson. He's now available to be a free agent. So, Louis, what does the market look like for the defensive end?
Yeah, look, obviously pass rusher is something that every team is after, and Trey has been one of the very best, outside of last year where injury really robbed him of his season by and large because of the fact that really he wasn't in camp. And this was one of the things that you'll get worried about when you get a defensive player who plays that position who's, on the right side of 30 years old. Trey's 31 right now. That's a lot of the things that you really worry about as far as they're being injury prone when they haven't been through training camp. I think the market will still be significant for him. In particular, I would love to see him go to Indianapolis and reunite with his former defensive coordinator, Lou Anarumo. It's a team that really needs pass rush. They were in the bottom quarter, bottom third of the league in terms of pass rush win rate. So I think it will be a selective market. I think Trey needs to be smart about it and just go somewhere where the coaches are familiar with what he brings and can really put him in the positions that to succeed for sure.
Let's talk quarterbacks. The Cardinals informed Kyler Murray that they intend to release him on the first day of the new league year next Wednesday. Which teams make the most sense for Kyler Murray?
Yeah, this is a tough one for me, quite honestly, because look, Kyler is coming off of, a significant Liz Frank injury. He's had an ACL injury a couple of years ago. And I know that a lot of people like, to follow the breadcrumbs, so to speak, and point to Minnesota. And everyone would love to play for Kevin O'Connell and Josh McCown. I just don't know if necessarily that's the right thing for the organization, especially considering that they're still trying to figure it out with J.J. McCarthy. Look, I would like to see him go to a place like the Jets, quite honestly, where it's not one of those situations where they're looking at him like a bridge quarterback because they have some young up-and-coming quarterback, and he can kind of just go ahead and kind of just organically grow into the starting role. He is still only 28 years old and probably has a lot of time left in his career to go ahead and play, provided that he can stay healthy. So I think it's very important where he goes and which teams pursue him, given what he still has left in the tank.
Yeah, Kyler Murray's still young with a lot left in the tank as well. Now, the Colts are placing the transition tag on QB Daniel Jones. What does that mean for the Colts and Jones moving forward?
Yeah, I think what you're seeing here is that the Colts are kind of like hedging their bets, right? I mean, because they don't know, what exactly the timetable will be as far as when Daniel will recover from the Achilles injury that he suffered late in the season in December. And I think right now they weren't willing to necessarily go ahead and put a franchise tag on him. They wanted to save the salary cap dollars between the transition tag and the franchise tag, while also at the same time holding the rights of first refusal, meaning if another team tries to sign him to an offer sheet, they have the right to go ahead and match it if he can go ahead and set them, and kind of get a contract that exceeds what they think that maybe he could get on the open market. So I think right now the ball's in his court. And the ball's in every other team's court to kind of really set the market for Daniel, because I think the Colts have kind of told you, hey, look, we're a little leery about the injury that you're coming off of, and we really didn't want to put the franchise tag. So here, time's yours now. You go ahead and set the market for us, and we'll make our decisions accordingly.
Yeah, and Daniel Jones was on fire before that injury. Colts 8-5 before he went down with that Achilles injury in Week 14. Louis Riddick with the latest. Thanks so much, Louis.
You bet.
Yeah, when it comes to March Madness, we often say win and you're in. But what if you win 30? Why, Miami of Ohio is still a tournament question mark. Joe Lenardi on what it's going to take to get there.
Arizona is coming to an end. The Cardinals informed the 2019 #1 draft pick that they plan to release him next Wednesday when the new league year begins, barring a trade, according to Adam Schefter. Murray was a two-time Pro Bowler in his 7 seasons with the Cardinals and made 1 playoff appearance in 2021. This was a statement that Kyler released, said, "To everyone that supported me and showed kindness to my family and I during my time in Arizona, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I wanted nothing more than to be the one to end the 77-year drought for this organization. I'm sorry I failed us. With this community and my brothers, nothing but the best. I am no stranger to adversity. I'm prepared for whatever's next. I trust in God and my work ethic. I truly believe my best ball is in front of me, and I look forward to proving it. Godspeed."
The WBC about to get underway, so time for a tune-up. The